Sonic games over the years have obviously been criticized for many things, whether they deserve some of those criticisms or not. A significant focus of Sonic in media is honestly the reception of Sonic. There are so many different reviews out on Sonic, ranging from IGN, GameSpot video reviews, articles, YouTuber reviews, and so on and so forth. But do these reviews truly matter in the grand scope of things for this blue hedgehog?
Here we go again.
Before we get to that answer, let's talk about the overall impact of reviews and how it all affects a game being seen in the overall internet space. A whole game's perception can be based off of Metacritic review scores, and this leads a lot of non-critics' perceptions to echo what it says rather than putting their own take in the mix. For example, let's take Sonic 06. Almost all industry reviews of this game are labeling it as a horrible game or one of the worst games ever created. Now, whether I agree with this sentiment or not is irrelevant, but what I will say is that most people will likely agree with that take, just based off the buzz around the game alone. Many people have never even played Sonic 06 and yet will slander it as if they have played it for themselves. But do not get me wrong, this doesn't mean you can't watch a review and learn something about the game you know that you don't like. For example, the way it looks, or the type of gameplay being your kind of game. But we all know trying something for yourself can completely change how you feel about it. The other side of this spectrum is Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed was critically panned back in the day. In some instances, it almost felt like journalism sabotage. But a lot of Sonic fans have the complete opposite take on Unleashed, to the point where it's a recurring Twitter meme to praise the game. Sonic Unleashed reminds me of the same way Star Wars fans back in the early 2000s absolutely hated the prequel movies. And now I'd say they're generally loved and almost overpraised in some aspects, just like Sonic Unleashed. This dichotomy with Sonic reviews is extremely interesting because these two scenarios are the main recurring scenarios within the Sonic fanbase. It can make it generally confusing what the consensus of these games are. Sonic games do not feel as simple as just seeing another game get critically acclaimed like Elden Ring or critically panned like Mass Effect Andromeda. Sonic games are one man's trash and another man's treasure taken to the nth degree. All of that is just how the fans and critics perceive it. But the way Sega perceives reviews of their own games is pretty interesting. Arguably, this is the most important part because they are the ones coming out with the product. From what I know is that Sega pays maybe too much attention to what critics are saying, and they tend to overcorrect things that they think are mistakes or missteps in their games. For example, a big complaint from critics were about Sonic's annoying friends being in too many games, which I feel is exclusively a weird take, and this led most modern Sonic games only having Sonic playable. Sega now thinks we just don't want to play as anyone else or see anything but Sonic the majority of the time, which just isn't true in the slightest, and there are many examples of them overcorrecting things perceived as mistakes or blemishes on Sonic, with pretty much all things Sonic in every aspect. In this specific way, without a doubt, it does make reviews matter, but my take is that Sega is just looking at the wrong reviews and choosing the wrong things to overcorrect. Reviews have a very strong grip on Sega's mindset, and it feels like the end-all be-all to them. Back in the early 2010s, Sega started to recall on all poorly rated Sonic games ranging from Sonic Unleashed to the Storybook series. The biggest game being their Sonic Unleashed, which is undoubtedly loved. Reviews have such a strong grip on Sega and Sonic Team. Just recently, they just said with Sonic Frontiers they're aiming for high review scores. And I think it's not a bad goal, but it seems like this is what is dictating how they want to create their games instead of just focusing on making a good Sonic game for the fans. So now you may be thinking, well then, I guess reviews do matter. Well, no, or at least they shouldn't. I think as Sonic fans, it's best to be as clear as possible when posting our criticism of games. And that criticism should be genuine for Sega to hear us. But as a consumer, I'm going to be 1,000,000% honest with you. Sonic reviews, in my opinion, for the most part, just kind of suck.
I think we're at the point where we need to admit that this was never really a great franchise. Nope. And that we keep trying to find this thing that was never really...
I don't feel like most outlets understand the franchise the way a lot of YouTube reviewers do. And even then, I think YouTube reviewers are still more reliable, but still not reliable enough, as audiences do get weaponized to hate on games and fans. The most reliable source is yourself. Try these Sonic games for yourself. You may come to find some people were really harsh on the game or too nice on the game. I think because of how different critic reviews are from the average player reception is proof enough that you should go out and try these games and form your own opinions, instead of bandwagoning onto a reviewer's or YouTuber's thoughts. In that case, from a consumer standpoint, I do not think Sonic game reviews matter. As for the future of Sonic Frontiers, who knows what's going to happen with the reviews of that game. It's obvious that I want it to be reviewed well, because as I don't agree with how the consensus go down on these games, I always think a positive outcome is the end goal when it comes to Frontiers. If it pleases both the critics and fans alike, including me, it will look good, although again, I don't necessarily agree with the whole Metacritic mindset, but I understand its impact. And maybe Sega will approach reviews differently this time when it's showtime. Do reviews matter? You tell me.